Hey folks, this is Vagrant. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. In the last video, things happened. That's all I've got for you right now. So, in the last video, things happened, and today we're going to do a few different things. We're trying to kill time so we can confront the pigs. Oh, we talked to Everett, and we sorted all that stuff out about the gun. We're going to confront the pigs and get our gun back, but first of all, we want to talk to Titus, try to get Ruby's location, but before we do that, we want to go inspect Clage's boy, which I still deeply hate as a word, in order to hopefully get a little bit more information to make Titus giving up Ruby's location a little bit more likely. So we're going to head over to the coast on the west. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that the fast travel isn't working because it hates me deeply. Oh, look at that. Hello. Okay. First time. Maybe you can only do it once a day. That could be what it is. No, because I can do it again. Oh, I don't know. I don't bloody know. Anyways, I'm sure there's a rhyme or reason of some description. Oh, I think, yeah, there they are. I think the drunk guys, I think basically I came at the wrong time of day. It was either too early or too late or something. I'm a little annoyed about that. I think I maybe could have used them for my forging of the signature, and unfortunately no longer the case. Much sadness. Now, what does this say? It's somewhere in the reeds, so that means it should be where the... You know what, I don't know why I'm pretending. So, I recorded this video yesterday. Thankfully, I had an old save file. My action, I've only just fixed it this morning, actually. Couldn't use it at all yesterday. My recording program, for whatever reason, got into a habit of... It was fine, it worked, it recorded the hour, and then when I stopped recording, it never processed that recording, and I had to force shut the program, and because I record in MP4... rather than MKV or AVI, that kills the file. I would like to record in a different format, one that's a bit more hardy and doesn't react negatively to crashes, but for some reason every other format I record in comes out as an utter disaster, so I kind of have to keep using this one for now. I am going to figure it out. It's one of the things very much on my list. Either way, the boy is over here. So I'm basically going to play exactly what I did yesterday. I know it's not quite the same, and I apologise for that, but at least I had an old save file, and I can go through the same hour again. Could this be the boy Clage told you about? It could be. And I'm not going to give any spoilers.
The plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash, but if you look closer...
I'm going to try to respond naturalistically anyway. I'm a little sad all my political rants have now been washed away in the tides, but I can always have more political rants, you know, it's always possible.
That over there must be the boy Klaas you told us about.
Klaas,
the one
yeah.
she hid her passport in. We should take a look.
Ooh, hidden things, secrets, lies.
Drama is very much a drama queen.
You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut.
Examine the plastic ball.
The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
Is someone mowing their lawn outside? Hopefully you can't hear that. I'm hoping my new mic is cutting out the sound. I can hear that. I'm hoping you can't. So I was thinking about this the other day. Some people have commented on it since... On this whole... I feel like I've had to talk about it too much lately. There's been quite a few comments about things I've missed throughout the game. And as I've said a couple times in more recent videos, I'm not so bothered about missing content if it means playing in a way that I think is consistent with both myself and my character. I'm not really playing as my character, I'm not really playing as myself, I'm playing as a kind of fusion of the two and trying to meld the two ideas together. This is a really good microcosm of that idea though. For example, shake the boy. I'm sure nothing bad happens if I click that option. And I had this exact same conversation yesterday, by the way. I'm sure nothing bad happens if I click that option. I'm sure it's just a little bit of extra conversation. A little more action, please. But it's fragile, there's stuff potentially inside that could be damaged. Shaking it doesn't logically make sense to me. And if it doesn't make sense, if it's not something I feel like I would do, I probably would not shake the boy, I don't think, because what if you damage whatever's inside, you know? So even though I'm missing out on content, inverted commas, and this is really, as I say, a very small example of a wider idea, I'm not going to click the button just for that sake. So, again, I am very aware that I've missed out on a few things. The disco in the church, people were quite upset about, but I mean, I'm not going to set up some drug peddlers in a frickin' church and disturb the crab man. I mean, I know the crab man doesn't care, but they're drug peddlers. Never mind, they just want to party and they want to have a nice time with their anodic music. They're still trying to set up a drug den, for God's sake. It's very hard sometimes to separate. You can meet someone you could meet a murderer, right? And they could be a lovely person. You could get on like a house on fire. Right, Peep Show. If you've seen Peep Show, there's a really good example. Mark meets a guy and they become really good friends. They get on really, really well. And it turns out he's a massive racist. He's essentially a Nazi. And there's the whole plotline about it, and that despite how much he likes him and how much they get on, and he thinks he's probably not a bad guy in some ways, he holds this view that is just incompatible with his life. Not that drug dealing is, but, you know, even though Egghead was awesome and we got on well with the drug people and the dancing people and stuff like that, and they want to make something cool, they also want to make a drug den. And those two ideas, I think that the drug den idea is so huge and so negative that it trumps the personality and the any of the other stuff we liked about them. You know what I mean? It's like, if your best friend turns out to be a Nazi murderer, you can't stay best friends with him, even if he was your best friend. You know what I mean? It's the same deal. So that's kind of what I was thinking. Because I saw comments about it. I just want to address that. Anyways, let's sniff it.
It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop, and decay. The water this side of the peninsula is cleaner. Actually, smells a little salty.
This game, more than any game I've ever played, is fantastic at letting me just run off a spiel of utter nonsense.
A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae. And nothing else.
Well, damn.
Well, lucky it's still here a little longer and it would have floated away.
We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore.
No documents? Who do you think took them?
I have no idea.
Again, same. I don't like either of these options. This is a minor quirk. We know what was in the buoy anyway. Not true. Cloget could have lied. You know, we don't know for sure. There were only documents in the buoy in the first place. And this is a disaster. Everything is ruined. That seems much too far in the other direction. I would be like, yeah, this is annoying. Now we don't really have any extra information. Let's move on. This has gone for completely opposite directions. I think I prefer minor quirk.
Or think with you. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope.
Maybe Cloget took him herself?
That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her. Nothing more for us to do here. Let's go.
That's a different option than I clicked yesterday.
You could ask the miss what she thinks. Later, if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
So, I knew that was going to happen, and I know this doesn't really go anywhere, if I'm totally honest. Why is it turned off again? I don't understand. Oh man, I'm gonna Google this. Right, whilst I'm walking, I'm gonna see if I can find out what how the fast travel in this game functions, because I do not have a clue. I really don't. I wish I was better at typing one-handed on my phone. Like, I can type one-handed fine. Oh. Ah, okay. Apparently, okay, maybe it does make sense. Yeah, okay, so how it works, right, is apparently you need to be... Basically, it's like how fast travel works in other games, in that you need to be near... Why has no one told me this? Because I've been complaining about this for ages. Apparently, you need to be near an existing fast travel point. So from there, from the church, from the village, or from outside of the Whirling in Rags, those are the 3 points you can fast travel from. That's really good to know. That's very good to know. Let's go talk to Cloget. I might click different options this time. I'm not going to game the system in anything. There's nothing I'm trying to avoid or anything like that. But maybe I feel differently about things on a new day, you know? Cloget. Cloget.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Interestingly, I'm sure she said something else when I started this yesterday. Let's get back to those lies you told. I found your boy. It was empty, just seawater.
Oh.
Did you take the documents?
No, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. My employer gave them to me. In truth, I should have destroyed them.
She doesn't seem to be lying. She's genuinely spooked by their disappearance.
So, my thing at this point was, where could they have gone, realistically? Either she takes them, but she denies, and my drama tells me she doesn't seem to be lying, or the people after her, or some locals take them. But the thing is, you're not going to see a boy and just naturally pick it up, right? Like, the only way someone's going to know the documents are there is if they've tailed her and they've seen her place the documents in the boy, which I hate. So I really want to put a little oomph on the word boy. Boy. Perhaps the people who were after you took it.
They couldn't know where I put it. I'm absolutely sure I was not followed. And I've told no one but you.
But the people who are really good at following people are going to make sure you don't know that you've been followed. So,
You mentioned seawater? I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch. The documents were probably just washed away.
So exactly what happened last time. I found that very anticlimactic. But also the latch was still on. I mean, a little seawater got in. Through, like, if you imagine the latch is a little bit... I guess if the latch is loose, seawater can get in. But it wasn't much seawater. It was only a shot glass worth, right? So you imagine the boy is floating there for days, weeks. And only a shot glass worth, which is what, 50 mil? 100 mil? Probably 100. Only a shot glass worth of seawater gets in all that time. Clearly the latch gap was quite small, right? And a passport is not a thin document. It's, thick, and I think it was probably in a bag or something like that to protect it from the water. So it's probably thicker than that. So this, as far as I can see, doesn't go anywhere else yet. But I'm a little suspicious about the whole thing. I don't know how much I trust it. Anyways, with that out of the way, it is now time to talk to Titus for quite a while and try to figure out where Ruby is. The drug peddler.
It's you again. What is it?
It is me again. He has to step up to me. Oh no. Oh, Gasto. Alert from my bank. You have lost lots of money. Okay, I talked to Klaus J. Now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
There's some fun answers here, right? Okay, so because she's your real leader. I'm going to level with you. She's the next link in the chain that leads me to Laylee's killer. I've seen her in a laudanum-induced delirium. The paranormal instinct whispers her name into my ear. Look, I need to pin this on someone. I've decided to pin it on her. I suspect she killed the victim, that's why. A civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby. She's a suspect in another case I'm investigating, a drug smuggling. Which he hates. He hates talking about the drug smuggling. Next link in the chain is... I actually think I'm leaning a different direction than last... yeah.
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch.
Right, my suspicion is that every answer there is terrible. May be confirmed.
Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
He throws a glance at Titus as the last syllable leaves his lips. The big guy sighs.
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
R&R. Rest and relaxation, right? Also, I love that. I don't want to be rude, but fuck off. That's very much... I'm not racist, but...
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
Okay, logic. I did this last time. Like, the first time I look at it, it's up here. I can see everything. But basically, this is the kind of thing I've talked about in the past that what I would have maybe done here with this white check is maybe I would have failed and then put points into logic and gone back and forth like that. But because we've done so much exploring, because we've done so many different things, we've got really big bonuses to our rolls for this question. And something I need to keep in mind for the future. But we are going to dress logically to get that 92% a little bit higher. And of course, we always have a little bit of a chance of failing regardless. Because the game hates me. Actually, I might forget that. I can't remember which one it is. This one, Precarious World, is not good. I wouldn't mind getting rid of it. Anywho, do we have any logical clothes? What do we got? +2. I think that's from the hat. I think we got logic glasses. Yeah. And do we have any logical clothes? I should be wearing those anyway. Do we have any logical clothing? Yeah, there we go. Looking sexy.
It's you again. What is it?
I didn't leave, Titus. I just stood here. Just noticed there's like a priestess or something atop this pinball machine.
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
Why are you so sure, Ruby? Also, this makes me think, sorry, tangent. Because you can... This is something you probably have to do, right? Eventually pass this logic check, because... I mean, it seems important to the story. I don't see how the story progresses past this point. If you don't, maybe it can, but I don't see how. So the game has to offer you lots of alternate things you can do to increase the chances of passing the check, right? So maybe that's true for some of the other seemingly impossible checks. The one that's coming to mind is the bunker on the coast. That's like a 3% interfacing, or indeed asking that last for a date. I think there's several things we can probably do that will increase our chances in those respective things. We still need to find the spot on the coast where she wants to go on a date. I don't know where it is.
Because she was here all night with us.
Was she though, Titus?
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
She didn't go to the toilet? Everyone goes to the toilet.
No.
That's a lie.
You know that's not the case.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, Cop.
He really hates it.
And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
Ah, but it is. We know a secret way up to the roof, don't we?
All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
There is a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof.
Oh.
Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
From there, a door leads straight to the roof. You can just step outside.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
Boy.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
Angus can't love that idea.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
It's really interesting it says route. I would never say route. You would route something. In that, like, if someone is invading you, you could route their invasion, right? Like, to deflect it, to beat it away. But I would always say route instead. Anyways, you do agree the shot came from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
There's a 72% chance that the bullet came from the roof.
72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
Definitely lie. The truth is not credible.
I magically came up with it on the spot. Yes, we have a ballistics lab in Caron. We consult in cases like these. I went back and forth a lot thinking about this one when I did it yesterday. I'm going to pick the same answer today. I'm going to largely do exactly what I did yesterday, unless it seems unimportant, and I've changed my mind a little bit, because I think that's more authentic, and I don't want to game the system, as it were. So I am going to pick number 2, but I was really unsure. Like, it doesn't feel like a big deal, but one of them is full-on lying. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to catch a murder suspect. I was thinking, how much can you lie for the greater good? How much can you lie in order to progress a case? And the fact is, you can't. I know there's laws now and stuff about entrapment, etc., but I mean, undercover cops exist, right? Undercover detectives. And that's constant lying. That's lying about everything, so... We have a ballistic lab in Caron.
Wouldn't hurt to have one of those in Martinez. What else have you got? It puts her on the roof.
Have you noticed the winch out back on the outer wall of the whirling?
I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. You saying it's part of the elevator she used to get up there?
That's right.
That's wall mystery down then. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it?
A lot of XP during this. There were pinball machines in the workshop, still operational.
Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
What if they're somehow connected to the murder? A pinball murderer. Nothing. I thought we could bring some down and get some new machines in here.
Wow, man, can we? I mean...
That'd be awesome. I beat that royalist machine 20 times now.
All right. We can get the barman to bring them down. What else?
See, now he likes me a little bit more, maybe, is my thinking. Also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop.
Footprints. Recent?
The tracks were recent, but not worn down in the right foot like Ruby's. It's best to omit this pesky little polemic for now. Too confusing.
Drama just wants to lie constantly. It's all drama tries to do. We can lie here, we can lie there, we can lie everywhere. Recent, not.
What else could you make out? How recent? What size?
So yeah, we're gonna not give the full detail that they don't look like rubies, because we're trying to convey, like, I don't know, it's weird, because in a way it feels like we're framing Ruby, but what we're really trying to do is put reasonable doubt into his head that Ruby could be connected to the whole mess. We're not lying, we're just omitting details, which is something that liars say all the time when they try to pretend that they're not liars. About a week or two old.
That close, huh? How fortunate. I'll take a thorough look at those prints myself before I believe that call. Good news is, I'm still listening.
Guess what? Remember that key I found here?
I don't like guessing, Cole. No one does.
It does. It's true. Who likes, like, when someone says, guess what I did today, or guess who just got pregnant, or guess who set fire to the orphanage? Nobody wants to guess, right? And you, as the person asking that question, know that you also don't like to guess in the same situation. So let's just agree to not put that onto people in life, right?
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here, with you, all the time.
You didn't find it, but Ruby did. That's how she got up there.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
That was weirdly worded. They were clearly meant to be more separate than that.
No, the ribbon was old. Faded. It'd have been there for 20 years at least.
Which doesn't really mean anything. You could just use an old ribbon. She could have just put it back there once she was done.
Why? This doesn't make sense. It's damn interesting, but it doesn't fit well, and you know it.
It makes no damn sense. Compels me, though.
It doesn't fit well, but it fits. And he knows it.
Have we firmly established Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot?
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun.
So, we've got opportunity. Let's get... Opportunity, method, motive. Method. Phase 2, method.
Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself.
I've already established Ruby's running drugs. She could have smuggled guns too.
God damn. That's just about your favorite topic, isn't it? Every fucking 5 seconds.
All I'm saying is, from what I saw in her cabin, she'd have no trouble getting a gun.
Trouble. This is Revachol. Even the roid heads in the gym had a carbine. No one has trouble getting a gun. I still never saw her carry one.
He must be referencing some past case of theirs. He's angry because he knows you're right. What he's saying only confirms your theory.
There's a small 28% chance that the shot came from beyond the roof.
Yes, goddammit, I know what a 72% chance means. It means there's a 28% chance it isn't that. And 28% is no small chance either.
As we have seen multiple times throughout this playthrough.
Just making sure we are on the same page. It doesn't all fit. We are just sharing info, candidly.
So, I thought about this yesterday as well. Local pawn shop sold my lost gun to a woman, maybe it was her. Which isn't what we heard. No, we already know who got the gun, right? So, unless the pigs is also Ruby, which I suspect is not the case, then that seems like a bad idea. Also, it means telling them that I lost my gun, which I think undermines my authority somewhat. So let's move past that one. I didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her.
All right, Carl. Keep talking. I'll tell you when I've had enough.
Pete, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component.
It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Could have just been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
So, Eugene, Shanky, or Titus. And I went for Shanky, I'm going to do it again. Just because his response was the more... He's freaking out a little bit about the fact that she had a plan, right? He's the one who seems most thrown off his game by the whole thing. So, Shanky.
I didn't do it, fucker. It wasn't my plan.
Okay, I don't think he knows what hypothetical means.
You probably did, though.
It's just a thought experiment. Think, Shanky. You killed him. You got up there, shot him, cut down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your buddies as part of a lynch mob or alone for committing murder?
Fuck you, man. I would never fuck my guys over like that.
He squeaks with indignation.
She didn't either. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Tearing them apart just a little bit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
Maybe it's all part of a leadership challenge. Maybe she killed him because she thought it would... What did I do yesterday? So I think we just move on. I don't want to... I'm trying not to contradict myself. I'm trying to seem efficient and like I actually have a theory rather than just throwing stuff at the wall. You know what I mean? And Titus is already talking... He's already seeming to be wavering a little bit. Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We have to talk to her.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods.
That worked out. That must have been what I did yesterday.
A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip.
If my memory worked, I'd know, but it doesn't, as we've established.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However, hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
We leveled up. So I'm going to put my points in. I think last time we put points in reaction speed? No, that's... So, my thinking was I just want to start working on some... Because I don't really have anything to aim for, and the white check thing I don't trust, quite frankly, because, as we've seen, it's often wrong. So, my thought was hand-eye coordination and reaction speed, and I guess probably suggestion as well. I'm going to basically level all the 2s, not Inland Empire, it's pointless. I'm going to start leveling up some of the lower ones to get a little bit higher. It'll make some of the harder checks more difficult, although I'm tempted by interfacing as well. Just because of the bunker. It'll make some of the harder checks more difficult, but we'll have a more overall coverage, I guess. So I'm going to go hand-eye coordination anyway, which is what I did last time. And then I'm going to do reaction speed, which is what I did last time. So we're going to level up. We will level up again in this video, assuming... I don't see why I wouldn't. And I'll put the other one in reaction speed. Perhaps... Okay. When did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
The RCM?
No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
No wonder she's afraid. I've come to declare the ending of the human experiment. That's apocalyptic cop. She probably knew me from my singing days. Superstar cop. I'm sorry, God. Why does everything flee at the sight of my shadow? Sorry, cop. I have no idea why she's scared. I'm a normal cop with regular thoughts in his head. Just what a normal, regular person would say. Just a lad. Just a little lad. Doing my things. Little lad things. I'm going for number 4 again. I got the achievement for clicking this yesterday. For clicking many boring cop options.
Sure. Normal.
He says without smiling.
You know, when I first saw you limp in here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
Let's get high on our own supply. What's that from? Oh, The Office. What else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop.
Addicted to the shindig, won't stop?
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
Silence. He nods.
It's funny because we did get to this point through Angus, but it was at least a day ago, so that always read a little weirdly to me. Is that true, Kim? Am I a can opener? Anything else?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This caught Titus. This caught he. But she was too scared.
Scared. You should be too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject.
So I found this really interesting because it seems that we have a bit of a reputation as a effective detective. Effective detective. That was not on purpose. It seems we have a bit of a reputation, one that extends out of Jamrock, or maybe Ruby was from Jamrock initially or something. But either way, I'm known as... this is good detective work, playing suspects off each other, opening people up. That's good detective work. So beneath the disheveled nonsense, there may be a good detective there. But the other part of it is, it doesn't necessarily sound like it's running just on reputation alone. The fear and the knowledge she has, it feels to me a little bit that maybe there's a personal relationship between the player, between Dubois and Ruby. No, not yet, but we'll find out. Do you have any clues? Do you have any clues on where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
They're clearly a little disillusioned with her. She's done this, rigged up the murder. I mean, maybe killed the guy. They don't know. We don't know. I suspect not. But either way, rigged up this whole thing and then, organised the lynching and got them all involved. And then she's disappeared out of town instead of standing with them and presenting this united front. So, have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Where should I start looking?
Sure, there are some shit houses there, a cinderblock town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
Is that my junkie shack? Do I live in a junkie shack? It would make sense.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a lorry man.
Do you know what she's doing with Ulan frequencies?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies and a pale something. I don't know more.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Pale something. It'll have to.
He puts his hand out. Shake.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite.
I mean, we've had our differences, to say the least, Titus and I, but at the end of the day, he's just looking out for his own, Right, we should be able to fast travel then, if I've got this right. Can I? Oh, yeah. I really like that. That's good to know. Lillian, my dear. Where are you? Come here.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Looking for someone else. I didn't click this last time. I didn't think to click this last time. Where is this bloody date area? I thought it was up there on the north, on the coast, but...
Oh?
Oh, I'm looking for a... Yeah, I didn't click this last time, so new information. I'm looking for a suspect who might have stayed in this neighbourhood.
Okay. When did this person stay here?
Very recently, over the past few days. She might have arrived on Friday.
Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning.
Really?
Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
That's okay.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
So, I've been informed of something. This is a very small thing. If you wear the intersolary shirt... Oh, I thought I found it. Where is it? Jacket? Intersolary... Apparently I don't have it. I thought I did. I could have sworn I had it. Huh. Okay, apparently I'm missing a shirt. So I can't do what I was going to say. Apparently if you wear like the right clothing, she's more likely to go on a date with you. And I think it's that, the bow tie, and because they're intersolary trousers, but there's an intersolary shirt as well, which apparently I've missed. I wonder where it is. Does that count? Looking fine. I mean, I look very respectable.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon.
No.
I can feel it.
Also, we can get rid of Kim. That's not the issue. Interesting. I'm super curious now. I'm genuinely really curious as to where that could be. I don't want to miss out on... Oh, hello. Is that Joyce? Hey, Joyce. I didn't see Joyce last time either. Hey, Joyce.
I'll just keep the Elysium in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
I don't know. I'm not
Hi,
pier
ma'am.
police.
And it's a jetty, by the way.
I was just talking to... That makes more sense.
Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
I mean, who doesn't, right?
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Jetty.
Oh, jetty, oh, jetty. It's good to see you here, detectives. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
You've been spying on us.
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordelate she read. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
So how do you like it here?
How do I like it?
She casts a gate. Okay, I was just checking. I can't get the shirt. So since it's something we can't do, I may as well talk about it. Apparently, the apartment we were going to unlock for Everard Clare, you can go inside, and you get the shirt in there. So that's not going to be an option for us because we didn't do that. She casts her gaze towards the village, slush melting on the cinder blocks, construction work left half finished 10 years ago.
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
Blessed.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
She squints her eye. Who was it we were talking about it being pornographically poor to? I can't remember, but it came up like 10 hours ago.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
She's a good egg. She wouldn't do that.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right. Politics time. Let's react.
Okay, I need to actually use my brain. I've kind of been able to just play through this episode on autopilot. But now I actually have to think. Okay, so you're right to be scared. This is all your fault. You're in no danger. The working class have no idea what's happening to them. Try not to be scared. This is how the real city looks. Yeah, this place is doomed either way. Real city.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
She leans against the railing, looking up at the grey sky.
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay.
Nobody tugs and stretches me.
Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly.
Do you know how they discovered this place?
The island?
No, the Insulindian Isola.
What is an Isola?
I'm guessing you don't know then.
No.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
Oblivion? That's so me. 45% is around where I operate. Things are getting better, though. Things are getting better, though.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, How can I assist you in this new location?
We've got time.
Do we?
Doesn't look like he does.
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you. Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit.
Okay, thank you. Alright, well, that's interesting. Lillian, me and you, we are going to date eventually, I swear to God. Let's go talk to Washerwoman.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around the coast? It's a little on the point, isn't it? On the nose.
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Okay, but do you know who I'm talking about?
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works. And it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
You know something, we're here to help. This is like when that man locked himself in the woodshed, we just need to help her come out. This isn't about the union, you know. You don't have to worry about retaliation. Here to help.
Aye, that you are, Dark Omen. Help yourself and your organization. Help the storm clouds gather on the horizon.
That went badly.
Enough of this. She better start talking right now.
God damn it, I know you know something. This shit is important. It's a bit much. I see, you know something, you've decided not to tell us. We're back later to find anything suspicious. Door number 2.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too.
Thank you, Logic. I was very much going to do that already, but thank you anyway. Okay. Let's go check out the shack. Love shack. Awfully suspicious looking floorboard.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
I talked about this yesterday, so I'm going to talk about it again. This is different because this is like a shanty town on the water, and obviously the houses are all raised up so they can avoid the tide and avoid the damp and avoid the floods, yada, yada, yada. But this got me onto thinking, I've never had like a floorboard that you could lift up and there would be room underneath the floorboard. You know what I mean? Like a crawl space kind of thing. Yeah. Isn't really something we have in this country. Like, there are houses with crawl spaces. But generally speaking, it's quite an American idea. It reminds me of like Breaking Bad. Or Ant-Man. Either way, you always see it in films where people kind of crawl underneath the house. And it's so you've got access to electrics and piping and stuff like that. Whereas here in this country, we tend to just build things on slabs of concrete, essentially. And the reason, I googled this in yesterday's video, the reason for that, failed video, the reason is, A, access and stuff like that, I'm sure it's something to do with space saving as well, but flooding and stuff like that, like, if you've got a crawl space and you've got this room underneath your house, it's obviously much more liable to be flooded with water, and whilst that's not a problem in many places in the US, here in the UK, there's really not many places where you could ever build a house where you'd think, yeah, we won't get rain too much, we won't flood, because the whole country has a propensity towards it. So, anyways, there you go. What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though.
Let us search through it.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper.
What is it?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber.
Interesting.
The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. It's extra ammunition. She's locked and loaded. Ready to fight some cops. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself.
I must have failed these, because I don't remember hearing any of that last time. Maybe I was Googling. Right, so we're going to interact with the bullet. We're going to check it out, inspect it. The bullet mushroomed out on impact. It now looks more like a fanciful jacket button than anything that could pierce skin, flesh, and bone.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found.
What do I do with you, bullet?
The squished little thing has no idea. I know. You should find the gun that shot this bullet.
Eat it, sell it for profit. It's my friend, I'm going to start talking to it, it'll keep me company. Last time I did this, I did it with Kim around and I didn't get any of these options. This is interesting. Find the gun that shot it, that makes more sense.
That sounds like something a police detective would do. First, you should learn all you can about this little guy. Then find the gun that shot it and the person that gun belongs to. He used it to kill your victim. Neato.
I might just do this from here. Feel the bullet through the bag.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag.
It's interesting that it has used the male pronoun here for he used it to kill your victim. But we don't know if it's a male. Like, our best suspect is Ruby at the moment.
You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge.
Inspect it closer.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter. The core is lead. The brass jacket probably didn't cover the entire bullet. Otherwise, the softer metal wouldn't have expanded quite like that.
Look at the jacket.
You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
Don't know why the stupid voice. Standard is, of course, not a positive. You want weird evidence wherever possible. And the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound. What's interesting about the bullet thus far?
It's a soft point bullet with a lead core and a brass jacket close to 8 millimeters in diameter.
Exactly. A very unusual jacketed bullet. One that would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzle-loader like those typically found on the streets of Martinaise. Very interesting. You have an unusual military-grade bullet in your hand. Now all you need is to find a gun that could fire it.
We have the name of the rifle, have the full bullet specs. Encyclopedia said this came from a beach loader. Now, I was successful with this yesterday, so I'm going to be a little annoyed if I now fail this. But let's give it a go.
A rifle. Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique.
Interestingly enough, I rolled exactly the same number yesterday. I don't think it is set, because remember I talked about it when we lost a little bit in the past. I had to re-roll to get my hair cut properly, or to fix the grin, to redo what we'd already done. And I had to re-roll that a couple times. I failed that, even though I'd been successful in the past. So I don't think it's set in stone. I think that is just coincidence. It's just a weird coincidence.
The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theatre of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago.
And we're still making these rifles?
No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling.
Who uses Belmargrave rifles these days?
Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for a well-preserved antique, most likely. Back at the station, the lieutenant is standing at a counter, diligently filling out paperwork to hand over to a tired records clerk. You should share your findings with him as soon as possible.
Okay, let's hop outside and talk to Kitsuragi. It's good, I get the best of both worlds. In theory. Hey Kit, he stands in my weird little hovel.
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp.
I think I know where this came from. Dangle the bag thoughtfully, which is how you should dangle. Be careful with the bag, okay?
Okay. And?
The shot probably came from a Belle McGrave rifle.
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Ravachol, really.
Why not?
Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of breech loaders we inherited from the monarchy have been effective, from what I've seen. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
As an aside, by the way, there's about 1 billion video games I want to play, and I'm getting very annoyed. Metroid Prime just got like a remake, and I adore Metroid Prime, one of my favourite games of all time, and it just got a remake for the Switch. But also, Returnal comes out in like a few days' time from now. Maybe even today or something like that for you folks at home. Blah, blah, blah.
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
This is basically a ban on automatic weapons. Worth what? Getting shot? I think we should have more powerful guns with a law. The militarization of the police is something I'm very... I guess it's hard to be passionate about because it's happening in a different country, but I see the militarization of the police in other countries, and I just think it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Makes you consider every shot. I like it.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the investigation.
Seems we're looking for an antiques enthusiast. Seems unlikely. Could the victim have been mixed up with foreign guerrilla fighters? Maybe have well-armed Jamrock bangers started crossing into Martinez? Something mysterious is afoot with this antique bullet type.
Mysterious? Okay. Either way, we'll know when we find it.
That option wasn't there last time, so I just wanted to click it. Alright, cool. Right, I haven't leveled up this time. I'm concerned. Why have I not leveled up? Am I near? I'm not even that near. Let us talk to the old woman. Hello, old woman.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
A bullet?
The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod, then turns to the washerwoman.
You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her?
Yes. I let my room to that Ruby girl.
She speaks slowly, wringing out a rag after a long silence. Her hands move into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into? That girl...
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before. But this seems different.
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday.
Yes, early with the dogs. Around 8 o'clock, I think.
What dogs?
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Kim, she must have heard your Kanema.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
This woman is lovely, by the way. She's just taking in vagabonds and vagrants and cleaning up for them and looking after them. Or was there anything else there?
No.
The truth, sire.
What is she like, Ruby?
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Really? I can't even begin to do that voice.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
She looks back towards her shack, thinking.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I'm so confused, because again, I don't remember this happening. I have a possible explanation in my mind.
Do tell.
I literally did not have this conversation yet. I'm really confused as to how I've got this now, but not yesterday. I clicked exactly the same things. How strange. It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
Her life.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter. Like you sometimes get, son. She really believes that.
Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape millions she'd made.
She brushes her forehead with the back of her hand. Water drips to the ground.
Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
Where did she go? Where did she come from? Where did she go? Where did she come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I was dancing to that at school discos 24 years ago.
I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
How well do you know the back of your hand? You know, how, like, if there's a challenge on Taskmaster where they put photos of hands with like 1,000 other, or 10,000, I can't remember how many it was, but thousands of other hands. And, okay, there's a lot to look at there, so it's intrinsically more difficult anyway, but if you had to look at your hand compared to, let's say, even just 10 other hands, but from people from the same race, well, not race is the wrong word, race doesn't really exist, people with the same skin colour, people of the same age, people of the same weight, people of the same sex, etc. Could you recognise your hand? I think that would be tougher than you think. Like, I don't know. I'm looking at the back of my hands now. They're not particularly quirky, I wouldn't say. There's a little freckle there. I would look for that freckle. That freckle's the only... Oh, and that one there. Okay. Those freckles, I'm going to keep those in mind. I don't know when this would ever be useful, but you never know.
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Further up the coast we go, then.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
The Feld electric neuron. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She looks around. The air is getting colder.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
So, funnily enough, last time I actually did the Feld electrical stuff. I'm about 7 or 8 minutes slower. I feel like it's weird because I feel like I've talked less. And we did talk to Joyce, which I didn't do yesterday. So that's something new. But I feel like I've talked less. So I'm a little surprised that I've actually got less done in this video compared to my last recording. But that's okay. I am trying to do something here. Just before I forget. Oh, I can't go around here, can I? No, goddammit. So. We will head to Feld Electrical in the next video. That's a big old building on the boardwalk, which I'm hoping as well, because, I didn't talk about this. So in the last video, we were doing the gun thing, I think, trying to figure out where the shot came from. And we had to get to the island, and we had to get to the boardwalk. And as far as I can tell, you can't get to either. Like, they're not an option for me right now. So I'm hopeful that those become options as we move through the game, basically. And I'm hoping that the Feld Electrical building might well be the boardwalk option, because it is on the boardwalk. So hopefully we can get inside. Because we did see you could get inside if you think back. I thought this was the date spot for some reason. Nothing has happened. Okay, so what we'll do, next video we'll head over to Feld and we will, obviously it'll be something I've done again already, but once that's done, that's all I did. I went up to the Feld electrical building, I went through all the stuff we do there, through the introduction, and then it'll be normal and I will not know what is going on anymore, which is much more exciting for me. Hopefully this bloody video has worked. Action has made me incredibly paranoid with its recent breakages, but I guess I'll find out soon. Oh, hello. It's a sewer. I didn't see that last time. Interesting. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks very soon. Cheers much of as always. Bye-bye.